the core pain behind their problem. So what has caused this breakup you're dealing with, Joe? And I mean, you have to be prepared. Hello, it's Ben. I'm back with the Course Client Sales Script walkthrough video. So this is pretty exciting. This is really getting into the practical aspect of talking to your potential course student on the phone. And you're going to recognize a lot of this because it's going to sound familiar from when we talked on the phone with you. We practice what we preach here at Course Clients. Everything we're teaching you, we do as well. And obviously it works, right? So I'm going to go through this. If your energy is a little low right now, you might want to grab a coffee, hit pause, maybe grab a Red Bull, whatever you need to be perky, because this will be one of the longer videos. And it's also something you can go back to again and again and again, right? This isn't something you're going to watch once and you're instantly going to know, and you're instantly just going to commit it to memory unless you have photographic memory. Some people are like that. But for most of you, you're going to have to go through it a few times. And practice makes perfect, okay? So this is not something to just expect to read it or watch it once and then go on and crush it. Anyway, so before the call, make sure you have a pen and paper ready to take notes. Now this is crucial because the more detailed notes you take, the better you'll be able to overcome any objections when you're pitching them the sale. Now, remember, you're not worried about pitching until you find out the problem. It could be they're absolutely not right for your course. Okay, we turn down people all the time who are just not right for course clients. You want to make sure they're actually right for you, especially because you're charging premium amount for your program, right? You're charging $2,500, $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, up to 10 grand, maybe even more, depending on your level of expertise and proof of concept. So you really want to make sure you get the right people in. So phase one, to consider the open. So tonality is very key. Okay, there is a lot of things you can do when you're doing this. You can smile. You probably can hear I'm smiling right now. When you're talking, make sure your posture is straight, you're comfortable. Okay, don't be running down the subway stairs on the phone trying to do this. You really want to make sure that you are giving these sessions, these clarity calls, whatever you decide to call it, a lot of energy, because people can sense it, and they're going to sense if you're kind of half-assing it here, what is it going to be like in your program? So cheerful, not over the top, but hi, is this Joe? Hey Joe, Ben here from Course Clients. How's your week going? And Joe's like, man, I'm good. Great. Where you live? Oh, I'm in Ohio. Nice. Yeah, I went to IU. Awesome. Okay, yeah, I love IU, blah, 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 right? So you can take a moment to build some quick rapport. Now, not everyone you get everything in common with. This you literally want to keep to a minute, or less. Super, super short. Don't go on for 5 minutes, okay? People want to get to the point. You're there to help them. Great. If you're ready to go ahead, we can get started. Now, remember, when you're doing this, you're taking notes, and the notes are really going to kick in when you're getting into understanding their motivation for booking a call with you. This is important and does a couple things. The psychology of you taking your time and pacing yourself through the call is going to prevent you from getting ahead of yourself. It's going to ensure you're really listening. It's a fact, if you're writing it down, you are obviously going to retain it better. And it's no different. If you know the show Shark Tank, I'm a big fan of that show. They're always taking notes when the people are pitching their product, right? And then they reference back to those notes when they're asking them questions. Same concept. So phase two, setting the itinerary, right? They want a leader. Remember, that is the theme of this program, is being a leader in your niche. So let me explain quickly how today's call will go. I'm just going to start by asking you some questions about and this is going to be filled in specifically with their business, their problem, their issue. It's going to be dependent on what your course solves for them. Okay? So for example, it could be they are an SEO agency, and maybe it's a social media marketing agency, and your course is on like how to create a 6-figure social media marketing agency. So you would ask, I'm just going to start by asking you some questions about your social media marketing agency and your application, which I have here. And then if it sounds like I can help and if it sounds like we're a good fit, then I can explain what we do and how it works and everything. And then at the end, if it makes sense, you can make a decision whether you want to be a part of it or not. Regardless if we work together or not, you'll get clarity from this call. Okay, it's important to put that in there. Now, let's say that your course is about how to deal with a breakup, right? Maybe it's a dating course. So I'm just going to start by asking you some questions about kind of your dating life, maybe a breakup you've had, and then your application, which I have here, right? So whatever it is, you'll be filling that in. Now, at the end, I'll go more into this, but this entire script, the structure, like the open, setting up that turn, all the structure has to stay the same. There's psychological reasons for it. There's a flow. It's just the way sales works. But there'll be parts where you're going to go in, you're going to make a copy on the Google Doc, and you're going to go in and you're going to completely customize these little parts. And then when you save it as a PDF, you'll have it to work off of. So it'll be custom for you based on your course, what your course solves for them. Okay? And at the end, after you've really tweaked it and you think you have it where it's supposed to be, then you can submit a support request and we will personally look it over and tell you if it's good to go or not. Okay? So you wait for an okay or an awesome and then you move forward. Like, okay, sounds good. A lot of people are like, great, all right. Phase 3, understanding their motivation for booking a call with you. Awesome. So Joe, tell me what motivated you to take the time out of your day and schedule a call with us. Now, when it says us, that's because we have a team here at Course Clients. It could be it's just you, not a problem. So you just swap that with me. So, Joe will say something like, well, I've really been struggling with this breakup. It's affecting every aspect of my life. I can't sleep at night, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can say, tell me more about that. You're literally exploring this. You're taking notes when they're talking. You can pause after they're done speaking. They can stop speaking. You can wait a few seconds. And then you can say something like, I'm just taking some notes. So I don't really understand your issue or understand your business, right? Whatever that is. And really be doing it, okay? Don't fake it. You're actually doing it. It also will establish to them that you care, which you should. But it also establishes, it's no different than you almost being a psychologist, right? If they're sitting in their office and they're taking notes, asking you questions, you're wanting to understand. Remember, like being a doctor, being a specialist, you can't prescribe the solution, which is your course, until you know what the real problem is and you've really dug in there. How long have you been dealing with this? So Joe, tell me how long you've been dealing with this breakup, man. Well, it's been going on for 6 months, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Now you're not wanting to provide feedback during this. You're just asking questions, right? Phase 4, learning about their problem, business pain. So whatever it is, their problem could be a breakup. Their problem could be they're not getting into their dream school, their business. It could be that you have a course on how to build a successful roofing company, anything. So this is what you're learning about. Now this question is dependent on what the problem is that your course solves. So what are you selling? For example, how long has this breakup been bothering you? How long has not been able to find your dream mate been bothering you? How long has not being able to get better scores in your standardized test been bothering you? Right? So if business or if problem, right? So if a business, so how are you pricing that? So say for example, it's an SEO service and your course about how to set up an SEO. So how are you pricing your services? Right? Who is your ideal customer? What problem are people facing in their business or personal life to motivate them to buy from you? If it's a problem, what has caused this problem you're dealing with? The whole point is to find out the core pain behind their problem. So what has caused this breakup you're dealing with, Joe? And you have to be prepared for people to pour their heart out. In general, most people, you have to dig a little bit. you will get some people that will give you very clipped answers, and you just have to keep digging, right? You have to get them to open up more. If you don't feel like they've opened up enough, you can quite frankly, and be blunt, say, you know, I don't feel I have a good understanding quite yet. Let's dig a little deeper. They'll appreciate you being a leader. Okay, you cannot move forward until you actually know exactly what you're dealing with and if your course can solve their problem. Phase 5, digging into their pain. So if a business, do you have a process in place to get customers at will? You know, or are you comfortable relying on this style of operating your business? So let's say it's a personal problem. Well, do you have a process? Let's use porn addiction. I know someone who has a thriving 6-figure business around porn addiction. Do you have a process to overcome porn addiction at will? Well, what is the normal process you follow to overcome this porn addiction? Are you comfortable relying on this and then whatever the solution is they said they did? So let's say they're like, well, I use parental blockers, right? You could say, are you comfortable relying on parental blockers? The point is you want to dig in, and it may make you feel uncomfortable because socially, we are trained even since children to not probe into people's pain. Do not probe into their personal life. Do not be nosy. Well, guess what? Throw that out the window. The more you dig into their pain, and not in a caustic manner, you're not being rude, but the more you're trying to understand it, the more they're going to feel it, and it's going to bring it to the surface. Right? People buy a course to solve something. If you've not fully fleshed out what that pain is, they're not going to feel motivated to buy your course. They're not going to feel motivated to get in your program. This is really, really key. If you skip over that, it'll be very hard to get people to want to join your course. It's just a fact. And each one of these stack on each other sequentially. That's why it's important you follow the structure exactly. These questions is to give you spark ideas in you and exactly what you would ask, right? So for your type of course. Phase 6, analyzing what they truly want. Okay, great. So where do you want to grow this? You know, where do you want to grow your social media marketing agency to in, say, the next 12 months? Well, I want to get to 20,000 a month. What's the motivation for getting to 20,000 a month? What's that do for you? Well, it just gives me a lot of spending money. Well, what do you, I mean, I like to spend money too. Tell me more about that. What would you spend it on? Right? You're digging in. People will mostly give surface level answers unless they're a really open person. You have to dig in. You have to really know what their motivation is. A lot of people will say, well, my motivation is to make 20,000 a month because I always want to have a lot of money. Well, why do you want to have a lot of money? Well, because it's just cool. You know, I mean, who wants to be broke? Now, I totally understand that. But let's go into the layer deeper. You know, why 20,000? What does that specifically do to you? Security, allows you to travel. Well, you know, like when I was a kid growing up, I didn't have much money. And so blah, blah, blah. Right? Now you're getting into the core of the onion. You're peeling the layers. So real motivation isn't necessarily 20,000 a month. The real motivation is they want to feel validated they have worth. They want to feel validated that they are better than their parents. They want to feel validated that they dropped out of college, but they still made it. And you want to write that down. So would getting to 20,000 a month have an impact on others in your life? Tell me about that. Well, yeah, I could get I could get my wife a nice ring. I could get my mom a better house, whatever it is. So if it's a personal problem, well, where do you want to be in 12 months with this breakup? You want to be completely over it? And what is your motivation for overcoming this? What is your motivation for overcoming this desire to be a better salesman or a better saleswoman? Right? How would things be different for your life to overcome this issue, whatever that issue that is? And it could be anything, okay? It really could. You could have a course on posture, literally how to have better posture. Well, how would things be different for your life if you had better posture? You could breathe better, right? Guys always talk about height. If you're a guy, you could actually be taller if you fixed your body. How would things be different for your life if you were literally an inch taller, inch and a half taller? If you fixed your back issue. So this is important that you dig deep. The more you dig, the more you really flesh out exactly what their motivation is. When you find out their motivation, then you can figure out, yes, my course will help them or not. Phase 7, commitments, responsibilities. Okay, Joe, so you're currently making 5K a month. You want to get to 10K a month. So tell me what's stopping you from achieving that on your own, right? You want them, not you. You could analyze it quickly and probably say it, but you don't really know. You want them to point out exactly what it is. Or what's holding you back from achieving blank, blank, blank. What's holding you back from, getting a lot of dates? What's holding you back from meeting your soulmate? What's holding you back from getting into your dream school? What's holding you back from becoming a laptop entrepreneur? What's holding you back from closing deals left and right on the phone? Right? Whatever your course is about, it doesn't matter. Your course solves something, and they need something. So most people tend to be one of the three of the following, right? This is what you're saying. 1, they just have an inability to do it on their own. 2, they're wanting to do it faster. And 3 is just wanting to follow a proven system and have guidance by somebody who's actually done it. Which one of those 3 categories do you think you fall in the most? All of them? A couple of them? Or just one? Right? You can say something of that variation. A lot of people are going to say 2 and 3. We track this stuff, and that's what we've seen. Regardless, if you notice, whatever they answer, though, you can get them there. Yours is the solution, right? There's psychology behind that. But it will give you insight into what exactly it is. I mean, someone might be like, 1, I just have no clue how to do it on my own. So odds are, if it's a part of your course, you probably have group coaching calls or something. That's going to be very attractive to them. Or wanting to do it faster. Well, your system's 6 weeks long. Your course is 6 weeks long. Right? Which one do you feel you fit in? So they'll tell you. And then you can go into, okay, so awesome. You're making $5,000 a month. Why not just stay where you are? Or, okay, when are you wanting to fix your dating life? So you're digging in more. If you notice throughout the whole script, it's really asking a question, they're stating something, and you're asking it again in a different way. It might seem redundant, but you're needing them to articulate it. This is really key. You need them to articulate it. Phase 8, and this is key, it's all key, but getting their acknowledgement for help. Okay, Joe, well, we can definitely help with that. Or Joe, I can definitely help you with this, right? I can help you solve your dating issues. I can help you get over this breakup. Mary, I can help you get into your dream school. Bob, I can help you close more people on the phone. Would you like me to tell you about what we do? Would you like me to tell you what I do? Would you like me to tell you about what I do? And then wait for a yes. If they don't say anything, don't say anything. You want them to be like, yes, definitely. Most people be like, yeah, absolutely. Okay, it's getting their acknowledgement for help. And then you go into the close. So this is ours. Okay, this leads into our close, but this is the key. When you're editing these custom versions, you're putting in what makes sense for your course and what it solves for them. What it is doesn't matter because the structure works for anything. You could be selling coffee grounds, right? So really, you're kind of giving an overview of what you do. Like for us, we work with 2 types of people, right? Experts who have a skill set or talent they want to help others with, need help creating and launching the course and then getting consistent sales, and experts who are already selling their course and need help scaling sales up consistently. We only work with experts because we only want to help people who can actually help others. We care about results only, not only for you, our client, but for your clients as well. Notice the verbiage. Not only for you, our client. It already puts it in their mind that they're our client. Okay, so this is going to take some thought for you. You're not telling exactly, it's 6 weeks long, blah, blah, blah. You're not even getting into that. You're just telling this the gist of what we do. So you'll be customizing this. Phase 10, the offer. Now, it's really key. Wait for them to ask how they can work with you or what you have to offer. So you'll say this, and then you just don't say anything. And they'll be like, okay, well, how does it work? Or what's the next step? Now, if someone doesn't say anything, you can let it sit for a minute, and then you can ask them, do you want to know how it works more? Or do you want to hear more of the details? Generally, they'll be like, yes, absolutely. Right? So you're getting them to acknowledge that they want to know more about it. You're legitimately basically getting consent each step of the way. Right? You're getting them saying yes. Phase 10, the offer. Wait for the prospect to ask. Okay. So we go on to ours. We take clients on for about 2 months. Same with our 4-pillar course sales. It's called Course Client Rainmaker, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So then you're kind of giving them another overview, but going a little more in depth. And you're focusing on what the result is. Okay. So think of this as the overview. This is the next level of the overview, going a little deeper. And then when you're done with that, you're going to say, would you like me to tell you how our system works? So this will be the third level. This is really getting into your pillars. And then you'll be like, yeah, I want to hear more. This sounds amazing. Or you can say, would you like me to get into the specifics of how it works? Right? So up here, you're getting the yes. You're going to tell me what we do, the overview. Then they dig deeper, you tell them more. Then would you like me to get into how the system works, how the course works, the program, whatever? Yes, again. Okay, so it's a simple 4-pillar system. Now note, you'll be entering in your 3 to 5 pillars below. This is why we had to create them earlier in this program. If you've noticed, everything we do in this program is a reason. Okay, there's nothing in here that's not needed or not necessary. So those pillars that you worked on your course packaging blueprint goes here. And this is what you get into. So you don't get into super specifics, just what your pillars do. Ideal client alignment, 80/20 course software, dual channel client attraction system, authentic enrollment formula. Right? So it's the what, it's not the how to. If you give away everything, then they can just get off the phone and do it themselves. Right? So these are little overviews of the steps they'll take, the 3 to 5 steps to get them from point A to point D. Remember, it's about getting them that one major result. For us, it's helping you sell your course, getting you selling your course consistently. That's it. We're not here to help you set up a blog or anything else. It's literally to help you sell your course. So that's what this is all about. Now, when you're done with pillar 4, stop talking at this point. Let everything you said sink in. You've got to just, that's it. Okay, now they might have questions. You really want to just get into the what, not the how. Okay, you will get people sometimes, especially as you get more popular and you're making more money and you get more of a reputation. People will, they'll get on there and try to dig around to see what your system is and stuff. So you'll feel that out. You'll get a sense of that. But you don't have to get super specific because the process doesn't matter. How long your course is doesn't matter. If it's 50 modules or 3 modules, or if it's 2 hours or it's 50 hours, none of that matters. The fact is, your pillars will get them the result if they do the work. It's that simple. Now, at some point, they'll be like, okay, well, this sounds amazing. How much? How much is it? Or how much is the investment? Only when they ask for the price. Don't say all this. Don't finish your 4th pillar and be like, okay, so it's $7,000. Nope. They need to ask. If they do not ask, you can sit on the phone in silence. I'll sit on the phone for 30-second silence. They need to be motivated to want to know what the price is, right? When you want something, you ever been to the mall or something, you're in a store and you can't find the price on something, you're getting frustrated? Or, like in Target or something, you walk around, they have those little scanners. I love those things. You can scan something, you see how much it is. You want to know because you want it. So they'll be like, okay, sounds great. How much is the investment or how much is it? You do not answer yet. You say, well, let me ask you this. How do you feel? All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being this is a perfect fit and 1 being this is not what I need, what do you rate it? Or you can say something like on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being this sounds terrible and 10 this is exactly what I need. What are you feeling? right? You don't have to be super formal with this, but you get the gist. So you're going to wait for their response. Now, if they say 9 or 10, then move forward to pricing. Okay, if they're like, I'm a 10. Then you can jump down to here. Well, the investment for the workshop course program and for everything you've told me today you really want to fix, it's just $7K. It's just $32K or $3,200, right? If they say, and this is really key, this might sound silly, but this is honestly, this has been around forever in sales, but this is very huge, the 9 or 10 rule, right? If they say, oh, I'm about a 7, then you can go on to what's stopping you from being a 10? It seems like you may still have some questions for me. And they might have more questions, answer those, and then bring it back. So how are you feeling now? Right? This really requires you being assertive and being a leader. When you say this, well, the investment, don't say the cost, don't say the price, because it is investment. They're investing in you to solve their problem. The return on investment is not, just measured in money. The emotional ROI that some people get from solving a problem is massive and much bigger than money. So don't just think in terms of money. You might be like, well, my course teaches people how to find inner peace. Well, my goodness, you can't even put a price tag on that because that's huge, right? They take your program, they come out on the other end, they have inner peace. Well, the investment for my, inner peace workshop, for everything you've told me that you really want to fix, it's just $2K. And that's it. Say it. If you notice my tonality, you can drop your voice. Well, the investment for my course, Magical Inner Peace, the 6-week system to eliminating emotional baggage and becoming a happier you. And for everything you've told me today you really want to fix, it's just $3K. So you notice my tonality? Notice for everything you've told me today you really want to fix, and then you say it, and then don't say a word. I don't care. You could literally be on the phone for a minute. You might have people say, hello, you there? Yeah, I'm here. Or you could have people be like, wow, okay, that's really good. Okay. If they say that, if they're like, okay, what's the next step? Or, okay, sounds good. Then you can be like, great. So that'd be Visa or MasterCard. Now, you should have a payment system set up via Stripe, via PayPal, via some sort of system where you can accept credit cards. Very simple to do. Ridiculously simple. So you can take a credit card over the phone. Okay, some people may want an invoice sent to them. That's fine. You can do that as well through Stripe or PayPal. But you really want to take their card over the phone. Okay, and you're going to get a feel for how the market is responding to your price point stuff. If you get a lot of people saying, wow, that is really a lot lower than I thought it was going to be, you get enough people saying that, you probably could raise your prices. Right? Now, if someone's like, ooh, I don't know about that, or it's too much for me, then you can simply say, well, tell me more about that. Well, it's just that I've got rent coming up, etc. Well, aside from money, is there any other reason why you wouldn't do this? Say they're, them getting into your program will help them make more money, whatever their type of business is. Well, isn't your goal to make 10K per month? Yeah. So what are your concerns about getting started? Well, I don't know. It's just that's a lot of money up front. So you're saying 5K is not worth getting what you want out of life, getting inner peace, whatever. So you're essentially framing it with them that this paltry amount of money, that's not worth getting what they really want. So you're saying 5K is not worth getting over this breakup? Man, think of probably all the alcohol you've spent drowning your sorrows to get over her. This isn't worth it? Now, you're never being condescending, you're never being rude, obviously, but I want to emphasize that. You're always coming from a place of compassion and curiosity. Curiosity is amazing. So it's very much like, so you're saying 5,000 is not worth getting over this breakup? So you're saying 5K is not worth getting you into your dream school? Well, yeah. So what are you going to do if you don't do this? This is a great one. Because they don't have a plan. That's why they've come to you. Okay? So you're saying, fixing a relationship, getting that feeling back with your wife is not worth 3K. Okay, these are they're just so logical, it's hard for people to argue with them. And you will get objections. Some people will just be like, I'm down, let's go. But more often than not, you're going to get some objections you have to overcome. Generally, it's not really about the money. Okay, you can get back into what they wanted, the pain points. Because the reality is a lot of times you go through this whole call, it could be 45 minutes, could be 30 minutes, could be an hour. Generally about 45 minutes, so that's what I'd make your sessions for. But you're leading them up to this point, they're excited, they revealed a lot to you, and you say the money and they forget it all. They've just forgot everything you just said. So you can remind them. Well, you said you really wanted to get over this girl. You said you really wanted to get into your dream school. You said you really wanted to learn how to close more. Because if you don't, you probably will lose your job, maybe your mortgage, and your wife is definitely unhappy right now. So how does that make you feel? So you're having to remind them again of, hey, remember, this is what you told me. So this isn't worth that. Going down, spouse objections. Is anyone else in the business with you? Or, I hear you. What do you think your spouse is going to say? So getting into all these, if you're getting stonewalled and they want to do it, it's just because a lot of times what it is with humans, we will say something like, oh, I don't know about that or whatever. And we really want it. We just kind of see are they smart enough to help us overcome that? Because if they are, then I trust them to help me in this program. And think about what I just said. Right? So you can always go, well, it sounds like you still have some questions. What is it that's keeping you from being 100%? Let's get to the bottom of this, all right? And when you know your course can solve their problem, that's the whole point of going through this process. When you know that you have the real solution, you become emboldened. You become very powerful. You feel empowered to lead them to the solution and that they actually do need this. I'm afraid it's not going to work for me. Well, why wouldn't it work for you? Right? You're going to expose inner belief systems that have going on with them. Another great one. Are you the type of person that's not going to show up and do the work? Put it back on them. You know that your course works. You know that you're an expert in this niche. If you didn't know that, you wouldn't be inside Course Clients, right? We only allow experts in. So you know you're an expert. You know that your program works. So if they show up and do the work, they'll get those results. Or you could say, are you the type of person going to run off and disappear? So why wouldn't it work for you? Why are you so special that it wouldn't work for you? It works for everyone. Why not you? Another great response is there's no guesswork here. You have us to ask, or you have me to ask. Whenever you get stuck, you have my support, so you can't get stuck. Now, obviously, you have to be there for them. Don't say that, not be there for them. All of this is backed up with 100% truthfulness of you fulfilling what you said you're going to do. So that's why you can say it with such confidence. You're not selling, you're stating facts. This is what I do. I help you sell courses. That's why I can be so confident in what I'm saying. Do you guarantee this will work? I can guarantee my stuff works. I can't guarantee you'll show up and do the work. Or we have a proven system, but I can't guarantee you'll do the work. Are you going to show up and do the work? You're putting back on them. Because a lot of times when people are asking, do you guarantee this will work? It's not about, do they doubt it'll work? They're doubting that they'll actually do the work. You notice the difference. Customer says no. We can be like, well, what are you going to do? We just talked about how this breakup's really affecting your sleep. It's hurting you on your job performance. So it's not really an option to not do it. So what are you going to do? Make them think. Not a good time to start, but interested. Well, tell me about that. What is it that's stopping you from starting today, right? So you're going back into investigator mode. Well, let's figure it out. Let's get to the root problem or the real issue that's preventing them from starting. I need to think about it. Well, what is it that you need to think about? You're digging in. It sounds like you may still have some questions. I'm here on the phone, so let's clarify them. Well, I just want to know, right, and this is when people get into specific, I just want to know, like, am I going to have access to you at all over this 6-week course? Now, that's why we tell our clients that their program really should be as much of a hybrid program as possible for your course. In other words, there should be an aspect of live coaching, right? So you could have a 1 hour, once a week live stream. So they will have access to you, or email coaching office hours during the program. It makes a huge difference for your students getting the success in your program they need. And they want to know that you're going to be there. They don't want to just enroll in a course and never talk to the creator, never have access to them, and just wing it. Okay, that's for the people selling $300 courses. You're not doing that. You're selling high-end courses, programs, hybrid coaching that's on a whole nother level. And that's why you get people such great results. Now, deposit. Someone could say, listen, you've gone through every objection, and they go, listen, I just absolutely have to talk to my wife. Like, there's nothing, I've just got to. But I want to do it. I'm a 10 out of 10. I've just got to talk to her. Or my wife has the credit card, and she's not back till tomorrow, whatever. Or whatever it is. You can say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We'll go ahead and put down a deposit. We'll go ahead and get everything started for you here on the back end. My team and I will prepare everything so we can enroll on Wednesday. Then we'll be ready to jump right in. Now, we generally recommend doing a deposit about $500. Some people do $1,000. I would do $500. $500 is a very comfortable amount. If someone won't even leave $500, then they're just not serious. Or for some reason, you couldn't get them over the hump, and that's okay. Okay, you're not going to get everybody. That's just a fact. Not everybody's going to be right for your program. That's an absolute fact. But when you're selling your course at a high ticket price, it doesn't take many customers to make a very, very good living. So let's say they're like, I don't know if I want to leave the deposit. So you can go into, sounds like maybe you're not 100% sure yourself that you want to do this. Does this sound correct? And then dig in deeper. Okay. So the irony is, maybe coming into this, you thought, oh, I don't want to be salesy. Did any part of this feel salesy at all? Of course not. Because you're literally digging in to find out the real motivation for them wanting to change, the real motivation for them to want to make more money or get more dates or whatever it is. There's a motivation behind that. And you're digging in to see, can you really solve this? Is this the type of person you want to work with? Is this the type of person that will actually benefit from your course? And then when you're 100% confident that yes, you can, then it's just a matter of leading them to that logical decision. So in closing, important, whether you close or not, it's always in the call and a great note. Okay, you'll get some people that are just like, I'm just super frugal and I just don't make big purchases like this on a whim or right away. And if you've overcome every objection you've tried, okay, well, no problem. I really appreciated talking to you. Thank you for taking the time today to talk to us, talk to me, whatever. Always end it on a good note. It's just important. It's good business practices. It's ensuring they had a good informative call, regardless if you two are a good fit for each other or not. There's calls that you'll end early because you just know you figured out throughout this kind of question process, they're just not right. Remember, you're in the business of building a long-term business. This is not a fly-by-night gig or a hobby. So think long-term. Of course you want to make the money. Of course you want to make the sale. You're not a charity. But you want to do what's best for the customer. Okay? The right customers could be literally the next phone call away. So also, once you've tweaked our script to make it custom for your course or program, then you can submit a support request for us to review it. But the important part is the structure of the script. So don't go and say, well, I'll take 11 and swap it with 8 No, all of these, the big bold is very key that you stay within that structure and how these questions are asked, but you can customize them to your course and your program, what it solves. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. You're going to do great. I'll see you in the next training.